Hey guys, for today's video, I'm so excited because it's going to be a little bit more of an educational video. I really want to be a teacher here and help educate you guys more about beauty. And so for today's video, I'm going to be doing a brush collection. So my favorite brushes, staple brushes that everyone should have in their collection. I'm kind of just going to go over my favorites and recommend some great ones for you guys. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I hope you guys really like these educational videos. Hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell so you guys can get notified each time I upload. And with that being said, let's just jump right in. So I broke this video up into categories of different brush brands, so this is a little bit more organized for you. I will say that I'm pretty sure every single one of my brushes, besides one, is affordable. So you really don't need to be spending hard-earned money on expensive brushes because you can get the job done with very cheap ones too. So for my first category, I'm going to go over, this is the brand Morphe Brushes. And I have quite a few brushes from them, and so I'm going to go over all of these and kind of just why I love them and what they do. And yeah, so we're going to start diving in. All right, I'm going to go biggest to smallest. That's how I'm going to do this. So this first brush right here is the Morphe M5 brush, and that is how they're organized. So they all have little numbers at the bottom right here. And so that's how you can kind of find them. So this is technically a bronzer brush, and so it is very big. And so bronzing is different than contouring because bronzing, you don't go quite as dark as a contouring shade. So you really just want to bring more dimension to the face. So you really want to give it that like sun-kissed glow. So this one, you're going to be covering more area on your face. So this one, you're kind of just covering the whole cheek, a big chunk of your forehead, just so it looks like you've been out in the sun. You're kind of giving that sun-kissed glow. So I love this brush. I'm pretty sure, let's see. I don't want to give you guys fake numbers. Let me see how much this brush was. So this brush goes for $17. I purchased this at Ulta, and yes, I highly recommend it. I think everyone needs a good bronzer brush, and yes, I love this one. This is a huge staple in my collection. I pretty much use this brush on a daily basis, and this is the Morphe M439 brush, and this is a foundation brush. And what I love about this is it's a round top Kabuki brush. And so what that means is obviously it has a round top, so it's not flat or anything. And the Kabuki brush means just there's a lot of bristles in it, so it's very dense. What I love about this brush so much is that it is so dense, so it doesn't steal a lot of your product, and it really just allows it to get onto your face. And that's what I love about it so much, is it's not stealing all of my expensive foundation that I spend my money on, and then I'm constantly having to like wash it out. It doesn't do that. And so that's why this one is so awesome to have in your collection. I just love it so much, and because it is so fat and dense, it really just helps you get on your foundation so quickly. It really is just like boom, 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 and you can just blend it out so evenly and so smoothly. It just looks awesome. So I highly recommend this brush in everyone's collection. I love this one. So my foundation brush retails for $15. I also purchased this at Ulta. Next in Morphe, this is the Morphe M530 brush, and this is a contouring brush. So as you can tell, next to this one, it is a little bit smaller. And this is because you really want to focus the contouring on just very specific parts of your face. So I really just want to chisel out those cheekbones and bring down that forehead. And so I love this brush because since it is smaller, it's so much easier to control where you are putting that contour to make your face extra snatched, for that matter. And then my contouring brush retails for $11. Also picked this up at Ulta. This is one of my holy grail ride or die brushes. I love this brush more than anything else. Like, it's my favorite brush in my whole collection. So this is the Morphe M510 brush, and this is a highlighting brush. And this has honestly changed my highlighting game because it's, oh, I don't know. Okay, so I used to use this one. It's a fan brush from Wet n Wild, and it's just kind of like a cheap, I don't know, it just didn't really make my highlight pop, I think, as much as it could until I discovered this one. And so what I love about this one is that it is a natural hair brush. So it doesn't steal your product as much as a synthetic one would. And so I love that it's able to just apply to my face, and it's just the perfect size. I think that's what makes this brush so special, is that it is seriously the perfect size to wear, like, on the parts of your face that you are highlighting specifically. I love this brush so much. It retails for $11, and I recommend this one to everybody. Seriously, everyone needs this brush in their collection. These are also huge ride or die brushes in my collection, and this is the Morphe M441 brush. I have 2 of them, but I'm pretty sure I have 7 of them. Yeah. 7 of these, but they're so awesome. So this is the best eyeshadow brush I've ever came across. Seriously, these are just, like, everyone needs to have these in their collection if you're doing eyeshadow, because a big fluffy brush like this is what makes it blend 10 times better. Finding a good brush like this is half the battle of a good eyeshadow look, because it pretty much does the work for you. See how this brush kind of has taller bristles up on the top, and then it kind of tapers down to these lower ones here on the sides. So I love this brush because it doesn't give you a harsh line of your eyeshadow. It really helps blend it out, and that's what those little bristles kind of on the side are going to do for you. And so that's why these brushes are so amazing. And why I have so many of them is because I try to keep them in the same color range so I don't have to wash them as often. And so this one is like my brown eyeshadow one, and this one's kind of like my more orangey copper eyeshadow ones. I have colored ones, I have a black one, I have tan ones, shimmery ones, things like that. So that's why I like to have so many different ones, is because I'm not washing them as often and ruining them and like having to repurchase them as often. So that's why I have so many, but I love this brush so much. I promise I will leave everything down in the description box below, because I make no sense like 98% of the time that I speak. So if you have any other questions, everything will be down in the description box below for all of you. All right, that wraps it up for Morphe. I'm going to be moving on to my next brand, and that is the brand Real Techniques. And so I'm going to start again, biggest to smallest. And so my first brush I'm going to talk about is the Real Techniques Blush Brush. And I'm obsessed with this brush so much. So it's kind of funny, when I first bought this one, I didn't use it for blush. I used it for bronzer, and until I bought this Morphe one. So you really want to look for a big, fluffy, tapered brush like this when you're bronzing. So it's nice because you don't have to use it for that specific thing. It could be like, this is a highlighting brush, or this is a contouring brush. And there's no rules to makeup. You really can just use whatever works good for you. Experiment with different brushes, experiment with different products, and I promise you guys will find some really cool things that you didn't even know that could happen. So I did originally start using this for bronzer until I bought this one, and then I used it for blush. And I've been loving it for blush because, again, like you can see, it has the taller bristles in the middle, and then they taper off to these smaller ones off on the side. And so that's really just what makes you have that more like flushed look, as opposed to like big circle clown cheek, like big pink circles on your cheeks and you're looking like a clown. We don't want that. And so you really just want to make it look just, again, like you're just flushed and nervous, and like that's what blush is. And you just really want to make it really pretty and faint, and that's what this brush can help you achieve. I love this brush so much. Let's look up the price for this one. So this brush retails for $9. I also picked this up at Ulta. My next brush is the Real Techniques Buffering Brush. And I love this one because, again, it is a round top, and so this really helps to make sure that everything is blended out so well. What I loved about this one is, again, I used this one before this one, and this is what I used for contouring. So again, because it is so much smaller, it was easy to control where I wanted to put my contouring, because contouring is a deeper shade, so you want to make sure that you're being extra careful with that, because you don't want it in the wrong places of your face. So that's why I loved this one. Let's see how much this one retailed for. All right, I can't find a price specifically on this one, because again, I did buy this one in a package with this one and this one. So this package retailed for $20, so that is what it comes with, but I do love all three brushes, so I will recommend the package deal. So this next one, I'm obsessed. Again, this is one of my staple brushes. I love this brush so much. This is the contouring brush, and again, I don't use it for contouring. I use it for under eye powder. I love this brush so much. Since it is so small, you're able to control so much more where you're putting that product. Because it is a tapered brush, it just makes sure everything is blended out so well. So what I use this one is for under eye powder. I use it to wipe away the bake powder that I do earlier, or I will just put on loose powder again just by itself. So I love this one definitely for my under eyes. This will make sure that your concealer is set, and so that it's not slipping and sliding and revealing your dark circles throughout the day. So I love this brush. I recommend it to everybody. And again, I'm so sorry that there were not individual prices on these brushes. They came in a pack, and that was for $20. So these are the last two Real Techniques brushes, and again, these also came in a pack, and these retailed for $9 for both of them. And so one of them is the base shadow brush, and I love this one because it is so small and it is the perfect size. I use this to contour the sides of my nose to make it just a little bit more slimmed in and snatched. I do naturally have a bigger nose, and I don't want to have the illusion of that, and that's what makeup is all for. It's all an illusion. You want to make, it's catfishing. That's essentially what it is. You want to look like the way you don't really look. So I have a bigger nose. I like to snatch it in, so I put the shadows on the side of my nose, and this really helps me achieve that look, and I love this one so much. And then this one is the Deluxe Crease brush, and I don't use this on my eye. I use this for concealer. So when I put on my concealer, I like to blend this out. Again, the small size of it really helps me able to control what I'm doing so much easier, and because it is smaller, it's able to fit right in those little nooks and crannies of my eye, and that's what I love about this brush so much. All right, that wraps it up for the Real Techniques brushes. I'm going to move on to my next category, and that is e.l.f. brushes. And I will say that these are the cheapest ones out of the group that I am talking about right now, and you will see that. I will disclaim to you guys that these brushes do break apart very easily. They have to be replaced quite often because they are not as durable. They pretty much only last about 2 to 5 washes. Like after that, they're pretty much disgusting and I need to replace it. So I did just want to disclaim that to you guys, but I will say that all of these brushes are under $6. So I'm not out spending a ton of money and having to replace them constantly. They're cheap brushes, and like they're cheap brushes because they're cheap brushes. You don't have to spend a lot of money because they're actually not like incredible. The thing is that they are really good. It's just that they aren't long lasting. They're not as durable. In the time being, I love them. They're so good, and that's why I want to recommend them at the end of the day for you guys. And so I will start with them. So my favorite brush, and this is, I don't even know like why the handle looks like this, but I love this brush so much. So this is from the brand e.l.f. and it is just a huge fluffy brush, and what I love about this is all over face powder. Again, because it is so fat and so huge, it's just easy to get everything done within a couple of just motions. I'm literally like boom, 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 and I'm done. And that's what I love about it so much, is that it's so large. This is a little bit more of an expensiver one. It's not a fucking word. Expensiver. This one is a little bit more expensive, so this one retails for $10, but definitely worth your money. I love the handle. It just has a little bit more of a sleeker look as compared to a lot of their other brushes. I pretty sure I broke it, or this is glue or something. I don't know what the hell happened, but they don't come looking like that. So yes, I really recommend this one. I love it so much. And this one oh my God, I highly recommend to everybody. And so this is the e.l.f. Ultimate Buffer Brush. And this is a great dupe, or even just like comparison to the Morphe M439 brush. As you can see right here, they do look very similar. They just have that round top Kabuki brush. That is pretty much just essentially what it is. And this one retails for $6 as opposed to $10, I think this one was. No, that was like $17. It's like 10 bucks cheaper, which is crazy. I love this brush so much. Again, because it is rounded, it's easy to blend everything out so easily. It is very large, so again, just so easy to cover your face with just a lot less motions. I recommend this brush to everybody. Again, just that density really helps to not steal a lot of your product, but I found out, unfortunately, from washing this one so much that my ferrule pops off pretty easily of the handle, and so that's really inconvenient. That's what I mean by that they're cheap brushes and they're not very durable. The bristles are amazing and I love them so much, but they're just not manufactured very well because the glue isn't holding on strong and they're just kind of falling apart. But the bristles itself are amazing, and that's what's kind of, you have to give and take that. It is only a $6 brush, so it's going to perform, but it's not going to perform amazing. And so that's kind of what you have to take into consideration. Next e.l.f. brush, this is the highlighting brush. And again, it reminds me a lot of the Real Techniques brush. It's just a little bit longer, but it kind of has that same dynamic of just being a skinny tapered brush. It has those really tall bristles in the middle, and then they taper off to those shorter ones here on the side. And so I love this one. This is, again, what I used to contour with before I bought my Morphe one. And so it just helps, because it is so slim, it just kind of helps you control where you're putting that product. Again, like I've said many times, that it is a darker product, so you really want to be careful with where you're putting that one. And that's very easy. And that's very easily achieved with this brush. I love this one a lot. Really recommend that one. I'm pretty sure you guys see me use this one in at least every single video, but this is the e.l.f. Eye Crease brush, and this retails for $2. $2. $2. That's it. That is it. You don't need to spend a lot of money to achieve a good look with a good brush. I love this brush, and so essentially what it is a small pencil brush. That is what they're called. And what I love this one for is really helping to blow out that lower lash line. It's small enough that it's going to fit under your eye, but it's fluffy enough that it's going to help give a blended look. So it's not just a harsh line of color under your eyes. It's really just going to help it blow out and make it really blended and beautiful. I love this brush so much, and you can't beat $2. You can't beat that. I love this one so, so much. All right, that closes off e.l.f. brushes. I'm going to move on to just my random ones. They are all from different categories of brands, and they're all random, but these are huge staples in my collection. And I hope you guys can find something similar to these brushes to achieve great looks, because I highly recommend these ones. So my first one is from It Cosmetics, and this is the most expensive brush that I own in my collection, and this retails for $32. So that was very, very pricey. I did actually purchase this when it was on sale, so I only had to pay $12 for it. These brushes go on sale at Ulta pretty frequently throughout the year, so please keep your eye out on these because they're so good. And you don't want to spend a lot of money on them, so when the sales come about, I really take advantage of them and pick them up. So this is the Airbrush Buffering Foundation Brush. And so as you can see, it's pretty much the same deal as this Morphe brush, but as you can see, it is a flat top Kabuki brush as opposed to a round top Kabuki brush. But what I love about this so much is that I think it's the best of both worlds as a round top Kabuki brush and a flat top beauty sponge. And so that's what I love about this one so much. It really just helps push the product into your skin, and that's what's going to make it last so much longer. You're not just moving it around and like painting your face. You're really pushing that product in, and that's what's going to make it last 10 times longer. I promise you, give this a shot and you won't regret it. I love this brush so much. This is pretty much my go-to foundation brush. I'm sure as you guys have seen on past videos, but I love this one so much. Great brush. So that past brush really got me into flat top Kabuki brushes, and so I actually picked this one up, and it's more slanted, but it is a flat top Kabuki brush. That's such a weird word. I don't even know where that came from. It's a Kabuki brush. So I picked this up at TJ Maxx for $7, and it is just an off-brand name. It's nothing that you're gonna see all the time at Ulta or Sephora. It was a cheap brush, but I love this one. It performs so well. So keep your eye out for good brushes. They're very cheap at TJ Maxx, and they actually perform very well. So keep your eye out on those. But what I love about this one is I have a cream flat top brush, and so this is what I use for cream and liquid foundations, and then this is what I use for powder. So you never really want to keep mixing the liquid. If it's liquid, keep it a liquid brush. If it's powder, keep it a powder brush, because it just is going to treat your brushes more better. You want to take care of your brushes. That's what's going to make them last a lot longer. So this one was my powder brush, and I love it so much. Again, it does the same thing, is it really just pushes that powder into your skin, and that's what's going to make it last 10 times longer. I love the flat top Kabuki brushes. Give them a shot. I highly recommend them. My next brush is one from Sonia Kashuk, and you can find this brand at Target. I paid $17 for this brush. It was kind of expensive, but it's definitely a staple. If you are doing intricate eye looks, you need this brush. You have to have this brush. And so what this brush is a flat concealer brush. And so what I use this one for is to cut out creases with my concealer. This is what I use more for glittery, creamy eyeshadows, because it just helps apply so much better. It's so small, so it fits in your eye perfectly. This is a staple. Everyone needs this brush. And then my last little brush I have right here, there is no name on it, but it is from the brand Ecotools. And so I love this brush. It is literally the world's smallest brush you've ever seen. But I love this one because it fits in just those perfect little nooks and crannies of your face. So what I love this one is for inner corner highlight right here, because you want to make sure that just helps give that extra pop to your eye, and this is what's going to help you achieve it, is by getting a little brush like that, and that's where you can fit that product in perfectly. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I have at least 50 more brushes over in my collection over there that I could talk about, and I could talk about for days on end. But these are just some of my favorite brushes that I'm constantly using and constantly recommending to everybody that I know. Again, so if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. Bye.